This video is brought to you in association with Kitchich Toys, the UK's home for retro and vintage toys.
Alright, Rick Wooler came back again, and counting the brackets, we've got another long title for this top 10. Still, it's a simple concept. These are all comic book characters or stories I'd like to see made into films, but I accept we probably never will. I'll try not to give too many spoilers away, but be warned, I may say something here or there. This is a Marvel and DC based list, so those of you looking for the likes of Savage Dragon or Banana Man, you'll have to wait for another list. Now, I do want to point out, though, going in, I've always been a Marvel guy, so I had to enlist the help of a friend to talk me through some great DC stories and comics, which has led me to some interesting new discoveries for me, which I'm sure we'll get into pretty quick. Honourable mention, Batman, The Black Mirror. This is from Dick Grayson's run as the Dark Knight, and shows his battles against a variety of villains alongside the return of a healed-up James Gordon Jr. But again, how often does a villain stay reformed? Now, I love the idea of having a Grayson Batman story on this list, and this would have made the top 10 itself, if not for the fact I think it would work so much better as a miniseries. Still, I'm doubting they'll ever actually give us Grayson as Batman, so probably never happen. Shame. Number 10, Spiderman, The Clone Saga. That's right, I'm adding one of the most confusing and convoluted stories in the history of comics to my list. Long story short, Peter Parker's clone comes back and they fight to see which one is the real one, along with another clone named Kane. I'd like to see it as a film because I'd like to see it done right. Simplified and focused, it could be a really great story. Just a shame we don't seem to be able to get a Spider-Man franchise that lasts long enough to get to a story like this. Number 9, Batwoman. To be clear, what I'm talking about with this is her first storyline being the focus of the film. It's the origin story for the character, from her joining the army, getting discharged when her orientation comes to light, making lots of bad choices and then meeting up with Batman and realising that she could dedicate her life to something better. And that's just the first 20 minutes. I'd love to see this incredible story get translated and show the progress made in terms of equality. Still, DC seems to struggle to push any character that isn't Batman or Superman, which probably counts against this film. And as critically acclaimed as the character is, will they be willing to go all in with her? I doubt it. Number 8, Spider-Man, Maximum Carnage. Okay, so the spawn of Venom is on a killing spree alongside his psychotic family, and it's up to Spider-Man and a bunch of other heroes, including Firestar, Iron Fist and Cloak and Dagger, to stop them before the streets of New York are bathed in blood. And this film offers a great chance to cross over heroes from both Sony and Marvel Studios, tying the two versions of the franchise closer and introducing some great new characters that probably wouldn't get their own films. Trouble is, it still suffers from the issue of can they make a Spider-Man franchise last long enough to take to this film? I mean, we would need a black suit Spidey story and a Venom story at least before this film could take place. Number 7, Batwoman, This Blood is Thick. Batwoman makes the list again, only this time with a clear story arc. To help save her family, Batwoman is working for the DEO, and they send her after Batman. She trains herself up for the task, while her family rescue her sister, and just as Batwoman and Batman go toe-to-toe, the story gets pulled despite its critical acclaim. This would be an epic chance to finish the fight and give the many, many Batwoman fans a chance to see the story end properly. Trouble is, this would have to be, a third film of the franchise? I'm not sure DC will commit to her that long, especially as they've shown no commitment to this story before. Number 6, XFactor. A team of mutants brought together by the government to police their own kind. The team I'm looking at here is based more on the Freedom Force team with Mystique leading them. The lineup can include returning characters Rogue, Blob and Toad, as well as new ones like Destiny and Avalanche. They seem like the natural progression for Mystique's story based on the ending of Days to Future Past. Mystique saved the President, the Sentinels had been cancelled, and the future is saved. But the government will still need something to combat mutant threats. Putting a team together just seems natural. Still, with no announcement about it at the time of recording, I think it's safe to say it's not happening. Number 5, Amalgam. Rather than a single film, this is a whole new type of franchise, and I'd love to see it get launched. Amalgam Comics features both DC and Marvel characters sort of merged together into something new and dangerous, such as Super Soldier, half Superman, half Captain America, or Darkclaw, half Batman, half Wolverine. And it could spawn so many amazing films, tell such amazing stories. It's just a shame that it'll never happen. It would involve Warner Brothers, Marvel Studios, Sony and Fox all working together on the project, which seems impossible. Awesome, but impossible. Number 4, MI13. Based on the Vampire State story from the incredible Captain Britain and MI13, all the superheroes in Britain are brought together under the governmental banner of MI13 and forced to battle an army of vampires who are trying to take over the UK and then the world. A classic setup with interesting bad guys, introducing the undead to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And at its heart, it's a buddy cop film with Pete Wisdom and Captain Britain. It features a diverse group of heroes, but certainly add flavour to an increasingly stale MCU, and also avoid the issue of having the word Britain in the title. One of the main reasons Marvel has claimed not to use Captain Britain in a movie. Number 3 is Zatanna, Black Canary, Bloodspell. 2 awesome characters teamed in this great story centering around a road trip to Vegas, and a ghost taking revenge on people she tried to set up to take the fall for her crime. Action, magic, mystery, and lots of fun. It could serve as a great way to introduce Zatanna, one of my favourite characters, to the DC Cinematic Universe, especially if they could tie the Black Canary character into the version from Arrow. Will DC see the character is strong enough to headline a film like this? Probably not. And that's a shame, because this is a clever and witty, well-told story. Number 2, Stars and Stripes. Honestly, this is just a way to introduce Stargirl. Probably my favourite character in all of DC, one of my favourite characters in all of comics. And this would be a chance to tell her origin story. Finding out her father had been the sidekick to the Star-Spangled Kid and taking over the mantle mostly to annoy him, with the film being her journey to becoming a true hero and maturing past that pettiness. Now, I love both the concept and the characters in this. It has the potential to tell an incredible family story. But I think Courtney is another character DC don't have any commitment to. Ah well, guess there's always fan fiction. Number 1, Power Pack. An odd choice, I know, but I love this comic, and I have done since I was about 4 years old. I still maintain this would be an incredible cartoon series. Firstly, the film though. It would be a chance to look at the origins, with aliens kidnapping their parents, while another dying alien gives them the powers to save them and save the planet from an antimatter generator. A good, fun family film, the likes of which Disney is so good at. Trouble is, it's a pretty obscure comic from the 80s. That, despite rumours to the contrary, doesn't seem high on Marvel's list of priorities. Still, I would love to see the youngest heroes in comics get their own franchise. It could be the perfect way to capture the imaginations of a whole new generation of fans, bring families together in a way few films in the genre can. So that's my list, and it's far from exhaustive. Have you got a film you'd like to see based on a comic book? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe for more, and until next time, see thee!